Aha. Mit einem Auge? Achso, das sieht schon 3D aus, ne?
Ja,
Oh, cool.
Ich glaube, das kriegst du mit der Kamera nicht.
Tricky. Ja, mit der Kamera kriegen wir es nicht raus, aber.
But something that is beyond yourself, that is grabbing your head, and then starts peeling your skin. And there is the golden skull. Okay, here is this is the part where the alchemy, right? So it's not just a regular skull, right? It's white gold. Okay, everybody has the gold inside. Yes, and that's what I want to check. And then when the gold broke, and there is a twisted blade. And then from here, you see this twisted blade thing, and then something behind is what, right? Okay, is this the one from the above?
Bild, was da vorne ist, auf dem Tisch.
Let's see.
Und zwar das Video muss man drehen.
Which becomes from here, and then to that. You see, oh, okay, so there is a two big ball, right? Maybe it's a god or whatever. It's the one that did, and then there is something on there, right? The elongated, what it is, you know? And you walk here and then see it from here, and then see, oh, I see here. There's a kid from guy in the clouds here. And then you go back. Oh, this is exactly what you see from there. Here. You know, so, and then by doing this, as you see, the lady is disappeared, right? From there, then you don't see it anymore. You know? And then now, so another being that became the naked guy. Right? And then, so from here, you really go into mind, and then himself. And then, so the rotating, how does it hanging cell, which is impossible, yet might be.
Das kann ich noch ein paar Bilder machen. Ich muss auch gleich machen. Oder zurück bei dem Video. Achso, ja.
By killing yourself, you know, would get to it's an soul. How do you say that in English? But you know, alchemy in the sense that I wanted to use more on the Jung's, you know, interpretation than the regular. Oh yeah, it's not that. It's more of like image. That's what I like.
I like this symbolic
Yeah, so
I knew you were watching movies. I didn't know that you also was a fan of Dali. Yes. But now I thought, okay, the white is a connection. Now it's a movie you chose. Right. Yeah. I like this symbolic surrealism. This is very cool.
thank you.
Thank you very much for playing.
Okay. how is it? But you know what? One thing that I think it's in here says in the video says I don't, you know, I may use the references, you know, of the real thing. You know, I use a lot of reference of the real thing in order to make the fake thing. Right? So, exactly. See, what I'm interested in is the fake, not real at all. Okay? So, everything that I'm working on, I'm usually create violence or whatever, it's all, you know, pieces. You know? That's, even if I make it spiritual realistic, it's fake. You know, but as a viewpoint, it looks like it's real. You know, so people don't want to touch it or anything like that, right? But I know that it's fake. Yeah, it's like, so exactly, entertainment. You know, it's like a show, I mean, a stage show, whatever. You know, you see a drama, right, on stage, everything. It's a fake thing. You know what I mean? Those are people acting. But you take it as a real situation. You put yourself into it, and you experience this fake, but it's a realistic situation. And that's what becomes entertainment. It's all fake, even if it's a very well more realistically played. You'll like it.
Muss rückwärts singen?
You know what I mean? But it's fake.
Für die immer noch nicht geguckt, die Folge, das Ausfall.
Nee.
Mit dem Monster von Loch Ness und dem Superbus.
Ach so, nee.
That's really good, but it's why? You know, as an actor, right? You get the idea, right? That's what I feel like, you know. That's the same feeling that you see some dead person. Right? But the thing is, it's not real. So you can play out many times you want, and it isn't what you want. Right? But if you do it playing once, that's it. Right? So to me, fake or like a recreation, or something that is not in this world, but it looks like it's existing here, is the one that's most interesting. You know, that's why I think some real comedy, you know, some people, it's really like, you know, I don't want to make fun of them, but more things that should be more impossible, but it's make it look like real, you know? And so I have to study the real forms to see how that happened this way, you know? But I mean what's it called? But I want to make something that is very interesting, you know, and it has to be big. I don't want to use video into my work to say this is so that's the main point about my, you know, about everything. But it's more realistic as possible. It could happen, but it's not. Right. It's like it's really real. We could check that in another planet. Could be. Yeah. You never know, right? so that's the most interesting part. Therefore, there is no limit to the imagination. You know. Yeah, but some people like the real thing. You know, some art. You know, artists really feel, you know, things has to be real. That's why it's beautiful or whatever. You know, that's great. I mean, that's their concept. You know, the people who really, you know, takes the reality as most people. You know, they should documentary. You know, some of the documentary films. It's a real situation, real problems, real things. They shoot it. That's real. That's great. But that's not what I'm interested in. You know what I mean? Because it's nothing but you're just capturing something that's real. There's no creativity. See it? Yeah, there is no, there's a desk. You know, I'm explaining, you know, how to make this upside down head.
Ah, war schon nicht Mittelgang?
Yeah,
Nee, noch nicht.
That's such a, you know, a long time ago. You know, I don't know if it's still.
Ich habe erst 10 Minuten.
Yeah, I didn't really make one. It's explained, you know, that's the only time that I have access to my right. Because the techniques is developing every time. That is all. You see, when I was doing that and showing that technique, and that's like a really old style too. You know, more people now, and computer is going better. You know, even for mechanical things, most people use this computer, you know, to make the robotic. You know what I mean? It used to be we are doing with the cables. For example, on this one, right? On this one, the idea is, you know, the soul, you know, starts coming up, creeping up from inside, and it starts going up into the face. Right? This is a reanimator 3, right? And then what I came up with the concept is, you know, have some, you know, things under the skin. It is moving around. So this is the controller, right? And then you use, and you actually want to make something that you move around. And this is like a center, and this is where eye is, and this is the mouth is. Right? So I want to have this one thing, you know, these things to move up under the skin on here. Then I go with this. Like that. Right? You know, you see all this movement. Yeah. And you know, with the same time, so now you get the effect of, you know, something that is not, you know, happening, you know, like, whoa, what is this underneath? So now you can do it with the CGI, maybe much more smooth, you know. But you know, then there's no electricity, electrical thing. It's all cable. See here, I mean, since it's red, I can show. So this is like, you know, see the little things, and this is just a cable put together, right? And there's a spring in here. You press, you know, and then when you know, go back, right? So when you have this one, press. Of course, the skin is pushed, right? So it's like push, 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 push. You know what I mean? So that was an idea for the mechanism to do some kind of things undulating under the skin. So I always have to, you know, come up with some new techniques and new ideas in order to express, you know, what the script is said. You know, okay, this goes. Something comes up under the skin. Okay, what's the best way to do it? You know. So, and it is a very creative and interesting, you know, experience doing this with something. Every time the director wants something new, something that you've never seen before, therefore this movie would be like, you know, it would be sell, you know, the people say, yeah, this is for first time you're gonna see this and that. You know, in the society, I made the person, right, you know, grab the, you know, from the ass, head, and then grab it, and then put it back inside out. You know, this is the first time ever you see the person becoming inside out. I think that's a really good thing to do, you know? And you have, if you ask to do, okay, you have to make somebody inside out. Now you think, okay, how should I do that? Right? So, and that was the interesting part, because the director can come up with an idea that nobody thinks that it's going to be possible, and to make it possible, that was a great, you know, feeling. And then you see it, and it's really happy. You know, of course it's fake, but you know, you feel it's a real sensation from that. You know, and that's what makes it interesting.
how long takes it from
Ja, das haben die schon. Ja, ja.
You're just doing the changing from him to the werewolf. You have to make a different head, different hands, everything to do what, so then you have a different hand. You have to make it look like everything you start moving, changing to finish. So that means in that one effect, right, you may have to make like 20 different things for it. You know what I mean? So that would take like a half a year to a year,
An example of this put from inside.
Inside out. It's very cheaply done because I made some, the guy's body cast. Okay, so we have to use it because he is in the bed. I mean, Society. Have you seen the Society? No?
Not yet.
Okay, well there is a DVD out anyway. And Blu-ray's out right now, and with my music videos in it too. Anyway, see, what I did, he was like, the victim. And all those society people start sucking his body.
Okay.
Start sucking, everybody's sucking, and then they start fusing together. Right? So they together, all the skin together, stretchy. So in order to do that, we have to make a fake body too. Right? So we made the fake body, out of the actor. So we have the same mold. And I have this body. We just made the skin, right? Of the body. This piece of bacon just for the inside.
Die haben alle.
So, action, you have the head, you grab it, and 1, 2, 3. You just say you make the husk and
Ja, die komplette, das muss sauber zusammenkommen.
Right? It's simple.
Nur der Computer, das ist zusammen.
You never know how the hell is you see that in front of your eye, right? So that is the difference. Instead of magic, video magic.
Das ist die Nase voll, wenn wir Bilder haben.
Kommt nach vorne und halt, was hat das gesagt? Von diese drei, vier Strukturen von dem Carry-On und die verwandelt sich in den Film in zwei alte Frauen gegen diesen Zombie halt, von einem Augenblick auf den anderen. Und da es damals noch keine Virus gab, haben sie es einfach so gemacht, die haben eine Puppe, eine mechanische Puppe, die immer die gleiche Bewegung gemacht hat. Die Kamera. Das haben sie 4-5 Mal abgespielt. Immer, je nach Einstellung haben sie die normale Carry-On gehabt, dann Version,
yeah, this actually, I didn't sculpt these things because I had like many crews, very talented crews, right? And I was actually a director for the movie anyway. So, I had so much to do. Planning and we are doing like all the storyboarding and everything. Right? And at the same time, so in my shop, we are making all the creatures, right? And I made this Balkas creature, the huge dragon-looking creature. So I was busy making that thing and then also arranging the whole film. So we had like great people who, individually, artists to in charge of individual creatures. There are like 5 zoonoids, and then we put them in charge. So those guys becomes like their own work. Instead of like, you just do that little bit here, or you do this, and then everybody's doing different things, then it's not your thing, right? We don't have much budget, right? Only thing we can do is like you have those guys to feel like it's your own thing. So it's not much money, but you can have my own work, right? So that gives you the more of motivation, to make a good work. I think that's the most important thing. Is like, if you get the job and just say, oh, you just do this and that, well, how much do you give me? I'll do that, But say like, oh, do you want to make this guy? And you are in charge. You can make the whole thing. Only this much money though, But you feel like, because people want to make something, if you really want to make, right? It's not the money issue, It's something that you just want to make it. And that's the motivation. I think that's the most important thing. Is like the motivation, everybody's motivation to make a good things, and you gather together, then you're gonna have a really good end product.
So money is not the important thing to you, it's more the creative work.
Not just by me, I think the creators, all in general. It's not so much of they are doing it just for money. I mean, this is the job that if you're doing, you know what I mean? If you're doing accounting as a job, right? Do you think you are very interested in to do some, creative accounting work, as like, you just don't want, I don't need the money. I just want to do this. No way. Those are just like a job, and then okay, I can do it well, so you give me much more money, so it's gonna save your company. But that's different, completely different. If you have this creatures and stuff, it's in your work. Then I want to make it the best creature, maybe outdo the other guys, and mine is the best one in there. See? And then that's like, you get the paid, but it's not that much money, but then you get to create something that is your own. So I think that is the best way to, motivate, and like, making the low-budget film, you have to be able to do it, and you have to deal with that. Because everybody who's trying to do something, nobody wants to do it for free, usually. But when you think about the volunteers, for many things about it, people do it for free because they're interested, right? And you have something to gain on yourself by helping people or whatever. The same thing. It's something that if you can create something your own, I mean, that's benefiting you, right, more than anything. Because if you are to make the full suits of the creature, it takes some money to make it, right? It's pretty expensive things for having the body cast and the sculpting, the whole thing for like maybe a month or so sculpting, and then make a fake mold, all that. The material cost is very expensive, and your time of doing this, if you don't get any salary just doing it, I mean, it's gonna take like 3-4 months just to make something of your own, right? But then you get paid to do that anyway. Even it's low, but you're not really spending money to make something, which is much better. So we think it that way, So the artists, the creators, when you're dealing with those people to do something together, I mean, that you really give the incentive for those people to have something they're gaining for themselves. And that's what, it gives me the best work anyway. So that's how I feel. And these are really, I mean, great piece of work, So I'm putting it in this and kind of feel bad because it's not my sculpture, But I think it's a memorabilia of the film, and the people wants to see it, and I have it, so, I'm representing it together. And it's overall, the Guyver is my film.
So how is this mask being used in the movie?
Okay, this guy is basically it's a stunt mask, right? Here. And because Guyver is an action-packed movie, and the creature is gonna be doing like heavy, Chinese action things, the fighting and stuff. So these costumes, like you see those things here, right? And those are foam latex suits. you know, and the foam latex suits is easily torn. So if you're doing like a heavy action with those suits on, then it gets like ripped easily, right? So, but you need a beauty shot, the close-up, you know, all the suits really looking good, you know, and so we have to make stunt suits at the same time. So, you know, we switch the suits for it, and this is a stunt mask. It's like, you know, outside it's not just the foam latex, it's more of the latex itself. So you have a stronger, you know, skin. So you do a lot of action and you hit and all that kind of stuff, but still it doesn't, you know, get ripped, right? And suits at the same time. And also, while you're doing a really heavy action, nobody notices a little rip in here and there. No, right? As long as it looks like that shape and the color, and that's all. And because you're doing lighting and the shadow and everything, and then also fast moving, you don't notice any small thing, right? So the stunt mask, stunt suit is usually really good, right? And the stunt suit is like sometimes it's a different height, because the real actor inside for a beauty shot maybe this height, and stuntman is this height, you know, or the other way around. Real eyes is like this, and stuntman is short, you know. Then what are you gonna do? Okay, well, you gotta cut up some of the suits to fit, you know, stunt guy, you know. But it doesn't matter, because when you're having like all action, it looks like him. So the stunt is always like that in the film, right? I mean, it's a different height and everything. It doesn't matter. You know, as long as you look like it's the same costume, you know, you believe, you know, this is a person that is doing this. So this was used, you know, and that way. And this one too. This one actually I glued it back together, but this was the head. It's getting ripped on the forehead like that in the movie, right? But it just doesn't look good, you know, to present. So I just glued it back together. So anyway, so there's the inside. You can see that all that, you know, helmets here, and this is a chin cup. This is where the chin cup is, right? And like, you know, you actually talk, and this mouth is open and closed. Like that. So, I mean, the paint job is the same, you know. So it's good. It's really good for doing like all those, you know, beauty shots, you know. And main one with the mechanical things on it. They're only really for like, you know, dialogue, talking, you know, stuff like that. Otherwise, it's too dangerous for, you know, having all those mechanical things, and then, you know, you do an action, like, oh my God, it's broken. we can't afford that, you know. So, any question?
So, how was it working to manufacture the ape face, for example?
Ape. This is actually appliance pieces used for the video. So after, it's like a Planet of the Apes, the old version. You know, you make the appliance pieces and glue it everywhere onto him. You know, him, and so it becomes like a real ape, kind of like, you know. I had those separate pieces of appliance, you know, left it over, so I put that on the headpiece. So this is not a mask, but actually a piece of appliances gluing onto the headpiece here, right? So usually appliances mask is different. Mask has been already made as a whole, you know, wearable thing. So you can just kind of remove and then put it back together. Appliance is something that you have to glue on every single pieces and everywhere. So you know, your facial expression can, you know, follow, right? So usually for like acting in the close-ups and stuff, we use appliances, right? So it really looks like a real skin. Right? But for a background beat, you know, guys and everything, we use that as a mask, because, you know, nobody really see the small expression in the face, you know, as in the background. So this is so appliance piece. Is there any other questions?
What's your favorite piece, maybe, the ones that you brought?
Favorite pieces? God, that's hard to say. but definitely in more line of you know, my own design masks and stuff like that is my favorite, you know. Because this guy, like I was saying, for Halloween, it's something is happening onto your head. Like this one is really happening, you know. Something came out from the mouth and like straight to your head, and like, you know, open your mouth and then another head come out, and then like, you know, another one comes out, another one and another one. So I think that's interesting.
Yeah. So this is a wearable mask, right? You can put this onto your head, right?
Oh yeah. This one, yeah.
How is that mask?
Oh yeah. So this was the mask that I used for the stage shows, and look, as you see, there is a little servo motor behind, right? And this is loose, like this. Can you see it? Like moving like this. And this is like, you see the eye moves? Yeah. So we control that as the radio control, and then I put this one on behind me, like this, right? So on my stage, first I was like sitting like this, and then coming out, and I come out like this, and then come out, start singing, you know. So it's really funny to have like, you know, double face, you know, and it's both the same face, you know. So it's a mask, but it's a strange kind of the back mask here. So it gives you a little, like, you know, surprise on the, you know, the beginning of the show. You know, you think it's, oh, okay, he's the kind of this, and you go, so. That was an interesting one. And you see the eyeballs are still moving. Any other expressions?
These pieces.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, this is the, as you see, a man with the changing expressions, right? Usually, when you change expressions on the masks or like dummy head, we mechanically, you know, moves, like eyebrows, like a frown, like, you know, going like this, and like, you know, smile, you know, goes up and down, you know, like this kind of thing. Yeah. But on this one, is I made it a certain way that you don't have to use any electronical things or like any gimmick to really move the skin, but you can change the expression. Like, for example, just looking down looks very sad, right? But as you see, now he becomes very happy here. What the happened, you know? And see, and with the sound effect, it makes it even better. He goes, oh, it's sad. Now how happy he is. You know, so it's a one sculpture. You know, there is no, you know, physical movement. Yet you get those two expressions from one head. You know, I think that is very interesting, you know, artworks. Because usually, like, you know, figures are there, you look around, it looks same from everywhere else, you know. But the one that over there, she's looking, the same thing. If you see it from this side, there's a guy or like a creature, like looking like this, you know. And no changing of the body or anything. So you're just going to turn around and see it, and this guy goes like this, you know. So in same sculpture, one sculpture that you're looking at from one side or the other, it changes completely. And I'm very interested in that, you know, because otherwise, if you wanted to change the face, anything with robotics, the skin has to be moved, then the skin is get easily broken. After all. You know, you can do it for a while. You know, for a movie, it's good because then, you know, you only shoot it and then you got it and that's it. But if you want to make the artwork, the pieces that it's gonna last long, you can't really do the movable pieces. So my interest is, trying to make the piece that is stationary, yet it moves, And I think that's another thing over here. Maybe some people from there, can see it in both eyes. If you see this in one eye here, then negative faces becoming positive, and it starts moving around. And this illusion is called what is it? Hollow face illusion. Okay, I think many things is being used in Disneyland. Haunted Mansion. There is a concave head. Look like a pasta bust. You move around and they are looking, to you all the time. So it's the same idea. I just wanted to make something more out of just an, heads turning effect. It's like, two heads, out of one body. Yeah, and then there's heads on the both ways, looking outside and inside. And then like one side and outside is the regular sculpture, but the inside is the concave. And because of the concaveness, and you turn with seeing in one eye, the head starts moving, And this again, it's one of the presentation, like this one I did is on the turntable. Other way is it's there, and you just look around, When you're doing this and looking around, then the face is, really follows you. Even you sitting down or stand up, right? They even looking down and up with you, right? So I really love those hollow face illusion style of the technique, and I wanted to really utilize that into my concept art, and so I said it so many times in the film, surrealism. Yes, this thing is so weird in a way because the faces keeps following you, and that's, this feelings. Okay, I can use this, into some situation in a art piece, and then so the viewer get this. It's an artwork, but there's something about it, weird feelings that you get because he's always looking at me, So I like that aspect of that. Yeah.
Okay, and maybe you can say something.
And this one, it's really, I'm very disappointed this time is this one because I had a large mirror sent together with this piece, and but transportation, the mirror got broken during the transportation, so I couldn't present it right. Okay, this painting is supposed to be looking from behind the painting, and you have a mirror right in front of this whole thing. So what it is, you see it from behind, then you see the reflection of this whole, panorama here, and this is the way it's made. With the anamorphosis technique, which is the one that it's a normal figure, but you elongate it and it's stretched, and then you see it from the one point, it looks like it's standing up, right? So this is all put together on that, so from that point and reflection, and then going back to your eye, everything becomes one landscape that is three-dimensional. Now supposed to be able to see it from here, right? But because of such a, you can see this cardboard right away, the brain doesn't really work well because you see it. Oh yeah, these are this kind of thing. Illusion doesn't work if you know it how they are from the beginning too much. If you didn't know and you just look through, and then it becomes like, whoa. That's three-dimensional, how that is happening, And so I was really kind of disappointed that I couldn't show this piece with the right presentation. But you can kind of get the idea, I think. Watch this in one eye, then you can start see everything putting together. I mean, this whole section here, this one, and that one, everything that you see in one eye in order to get this three-dimensional effect. And usually people think that three-dimensional is like because of two eyes, right? Makes the difference of the distance. That's why the things looks like 3D. But because of one eye, this becomes 3D. And this is very interesting thing, you know? And how the hell that one eye can make it looks like it's 3D, right? It's because two eye is really, it's an actual thing, actual distance. Because the difference between the left and the right, you know, and that's the thing. You see something more of the right, and then you see something more of the left, you know. So the both eye doesn't see the both together. That's why you see this in the three-dimensional piece right there, right? But with one eye, you really don't know. You know, you only see one part of it, right? But then it's stretched, right? So when you are stretched, the focal point is different, right? So when the thing is different on the focus, then the eyes are trying to make this things make sense on the head, but you don't really see it as an just there, you know. And that's the thing about the eye and the brain are trying to achieve, you know. Is this a flat thing or is this a three-dimensional thing, right? And because the focal thing is the one, the eyes are usually doing it, you know, because you see everything in a different area, and you are focusing here and here and here, and eyes are keep moving all the time, right, to get this distance, you know. And that's why the idea of three-dimensional, you know, usually work, you know. But when you make something flat in one piece, but you give the exact situation that as if you are right in front of the three-dimensional piece in one eye, then brain thinks that is an actual 3D. You know what I mean? And that's the effects that you get from here. Like this one, you're standing here and you close one eye and just to look down with the eye. So all of a sudden these shelves and these things, all of a sudden it sticks out. And it looks almost like you can turn the faucet here. Okay? So I think that's the interesting things about this anamorphosis, you know, and I'm very, interested in that technique. And so nowadays it's very famous, the street artist, I think, what's his name, I forgot, but you see the street art with using anamorphic, the floors look like it's concave, and, all that kind of stuff. And yes, that's the anamorphosis. You always see that in the pictures, right? Pictures of, and then what's good about it? In the picture, you see it from one specific point, and it's the part that affects works the best, right? If you see that real, you're going from the side, it's just like elongated paintings. So, I think it's the whole idea about the anamorphosis that is really interesting.
So how is the illusion of this one working next to it?
But this one is yeah, go ahead. This is the stereoscopic thing. Yes, just the way she is doing. And this one is actual thing with like left eye and right eye, how they see the one specific sequence, like scene. If you see this thing's happening, there's many things intertwined, some are flying here, some are flying here, and these are the things. You have to think, okay, in this distance, you see from left eye is this way, then right eye is this way. So it's a difference between the left and right, and you calculate that and then paint the right side eye here. Okay, so in a lot of the things I've seen 3D paintings before, which is really I don't think take it too seriously, because a lot of things is just taking two pictures of some person, okay? Like take picture here and here, and then you projected that onto the canvas, and you just paint over what the photograph is, right? And then you put that together in like this kind of thing, and you see it. Of course, it becomes three-dimensional. It's a photograph. you know, you just render into the painting. I don't think that is very creative at all. You know what I mean? I mean, you can get the three-dimensional effects. Yeah, you can see a 3D photograph, right? And you've seen a 3D photos before. I mean, it's like, yeah, that's a normal thing. But what I wanted to do was the painting from coming out from your head, right? It's a creative imagery that is not in this earth. I mean, it's not something that you can take a picture of. And then you see that in 3D. Okay, now you have to think. You have to really, you know, work out how to make that scene work as in a real 3D. And that's where I think it's the most important things about the artistic and also the engineering, you know, for that painting. You know what I mean? So I like imagery comes to life, you know, and everything has to be fake, right? It shouldn't be alive, you know, it's there, you know, but it could be, you know, it might be there, you know, but it looks like there, you know, but it's an illusion. It looks like there, but it's not, you know, and that's the whole deal that I'm dealing with, everything. And surrealism and illusion works really well to me. So, Screaming Man George is always interested in